Hello there, my name is Andrew Druckman and I'd like to welcome you to the channel because after all, the reason why you clicked on that link is because you want to learn how to get loyal customers for your business. Well, guess what? You just came to the right place because that's exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Now, if you haven't done so already yet, consider subscribing to Traffic Magic because that is what we do. We talk about different tips and strategies to help you get more people to the front door of your business every single day. Because after all, if you have nobody at the front door of your business, you have no business because after all, that is the bloodline to your business. And also something to keep in mind, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below that's going to give you more of an in-depth training on how to get more people to the front door of your business every single day. Now, without further ado, let's get into the action. So, let's put this in perspective for a minute before we talk about loyal customers. Yes, you always want to keep having more new customers coming to the front door of your business every single day. That's always going to be a day given. Totally get that. However, why it's important that once you took the time to get that new customer, and we're just talking about one, which that one could obviously be 10, 100 customers, etc., whatever the case might very well be. But when you took the time to get that customer, you add value to them, meaning that you service them properly and you took the time to solve their problem and fulfill their needs. And apparently you gave them such a great experience, and whatever that might very well look like. And it could be numerous amount of things. Could be maybe because you had great customer service, which we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on in this video. But whether it being good customer service, whether it being because the people are friendly, whatever the reason is as far as why they had such a great experience, apparently they're going to want to now come back to the front door of your business after getting that great experience because they're looking forward to not only you servicing them properly like how you did because you took the time again to solve their problem, fulfill their needs, but apparently they had such a great experience with you that they're looking forward to that. And that's a very powerful thing, not only when it comes to having loyal customers coming to the front door of your business, and they keep coming to the front door of your business and they're buying your product or services, whatever it is that you're promoting, which also now is going to lead into what makes it so powerful is that now those same people are probably going to be talking about it with their friends and family and coworkers and their loved ones. This is now when we get into customer referrals. Now, the reason why I will sit here and tell you why that is so very powerful when it comes to customer referrals and other people are talking about your business is because in the grand scheme of things, you really have to put this into perspective, right? Imagine someone, because I can honestly sit here and tell you I've done this. I know my family, friends, and loved ones have done this, and I'm sure you probably have friends and family and loved ones that's actually done this, where you took the time after you were serviced, whether it being at a Starbucks, it could be at a restaurant, at a gas station, or maybe a mechanic place where they took the time to change your oil, whatever the case might very well be. And when you talk so highly about that business, when you sit there and talk about how great their services are and certain things of that nature, now that builds credibility with people, because when you're taking the time to edifying other people's business, you're talking about how great the service is, how good the people are, and whatever the case might very well be. Now they're going to more than likely now talk about that with their friends and family and loved ones. And now after you took the time to get that customer again to close out on that customer. Now that's a customer that's kind of essentially kind of helping to work for you unintentionally, so to speak, if that makes any sense, to now help you get another customer to the front door of your business. That is a very powerful thing. Do not underestimate the power of word of mouth, especially if they're also willing to leave you a good review. And that's another thing I want to talk about when it comes to customer referrals. Also encouraging them to leave a review for your business. It's a very powerful thing. And when it comes to customer referrals and leave reviews, I personally think those are trust builders. Very powerful. Do not underestimate the power of word of mouth when they take the time to edify and they talk about how good your business is. Now, the next part is, and I want to talk about, is email marketing. Now, Here's the thing when it comes to email marketing. I know this subject kind of gets a little bit funny because why? Because in the grand scheme of things, we don't want to sit there and bombard them, obviously, with 6 months straight of just emails, just constantly selling and selling and selling. Because of course you don't want to do that. And I understand there's not necessarily really a perfect way of doing it. This is what it is I'm going to tell you when it comes to email marketing. As long as you are constantly adding value to them, that is all that matters. Now, I will never sit there and tell you to send email swipes to someone or send emails out every single day, 7 days a week. I will never tell you to do that. Now, I'm going to kind of give you an idea where you kind of leave a little bit of space, whether it being you send out, say, this is going to be just an example for the sake of this conversation. Say you send out an email, say on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, leave them alone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Leave those 3 days off, and then you have 4 days on. I really hope that makes sense. And the reason why that I'm saying that is so that this way you're not constantly keep bombarding them with emails every single day. You don't want to do that. But at the same time that you're sending them emails, even if it's 4 days on and 3 days off, or it could be 5 days on, 2 days off, whatever the case might very well be, as long as two things. As long as one, they are adding value. Second, as long as you're not bombarding them with emails every single day. Please don't do that. Now, the next thing now I want to talk about when it comes to having, again, loyal customers and have them keep coming to the front door of your business constantly, those same customers, is having a customer loyalty program. Now, I'm going to sit here and personally tell you from my experience, I'm pretty sure everybody has had some type of experience in somewhat shape or form, and whatever that looks like, whether it being you went to a car wash service and they gave you a ticket saying, hey, after you buy your 10 car washes, after you buy 10 car washes from us, your 11th one is free, or you got a 15% discount or 20% discount. Whether it being that or even Starbucks. Hey, I personally love Starbucks. I can't tell you how excited I am after I build all my points and I get a free Starbucks coffee or whatever have you. That's awesome. I personally love that. But that's my point. When you have some type of loyalty program that you give them and you offer them something for free, whether it being a 15% discount, 20% discount, whether it being free food. Now, obviously, you have to make this congruent with your business, but the whole point is I will sit here and tell you all day, every day, that I personally don't mind sacrificing a little bit of revenue. Obviously, you don't want to sacrifice too much revenue for such obvious reasons, but I have no problem personally sacrificing a little bit of revenue so that this way I can keep getting those same customers constantly keep coming to the front door of my business. Again, because they will come by, whether it being every other day, every other week, or every month, or whatever the case may be. And they'll share that loyalty program with other customers, with other people, their friends, their family, their loved ones. And now, again, going back to the customer referrals part, they're gonna also talk about those same things about your business when it comes to your loyalty program, and they're gonna want to do that too. But now when it comes to a customer loyalty program, the only last thing I just want to end with this is to get someone to get onto your customer loyalty program. I will tell you, try to offer them something for free. And it could be something as simple as like a 10% discount if you sign up for a customer loyalty program right now. Because I'm telling you, stuff like that, when you sacrifice a little bit of revenue to get more of those people into the front door of your business constantly to your business, it's a very, very powerful thing. Also, another very powerful thing. And last but not least, customer support, which is also customer service. Now, I understand this is probably going to be one of the most challenging things when it comes to dealing with people, when it comes to dealing with customers. I totally understand that. I really do. However, though, the one thing I will sit here and tell you is that when you have a customer complaint coming up to you and they're telling you they're having an issue with whatever it is that you're selling and or promoting, I will tell you to try to do whatever you can to try to solve that problem. And then once you've taken the time to solve that problem, then the next thing I will tell you to do is to make it up to them just saying, you know what, look, I'm so sorry that happened. That's no excuse. You know, it shouldn't have happened. I apologize. Take ownership of that. Whatever the case might very well be, and offer them some for free. You know what? I apologize that happened. Here, I'm going to make it, not only are you going to take the time to solve their problem, whatever that looks like, but also offer them something for free, saying, you know what, I apologize. Here, I'm gonna give you 15% discount, 10% discount, or whatever, to try to make it up to you. Now, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you felt like you got some value out of this video, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below, because I always want to know what it is that you gotta say. And also remember, I'm going to have a link in the description down below that's going to give you more of an in-depth training on how to get more people to the front door of your business every single day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.